The consumer behaviour that will be the central focus of this vlog is travel, and it will be linked to the theory of attitudes and more specifically, my attitude towards travelling. I started travelling when I was 12 years old on family holidays, and since then I've visited 5 different countries, different unique countries, including Fiji, New Zealand, Indonesia, Japan, and South Korea. These visits have either been with family, friends, or solo by myself, and they've contributed to some of the greatest experiences and memories I have, and they've also shaped me into the person that I am today. Learning and exploring other cultures and countries provides me with a creative inspiration and understanding of the world around me to continuously improve my self-development. This impacts me as it's linked to how I want to better myself and my life, as well as being an experience I enjoy with friends and family to improve my relationships and connections. So this statement would be my attitude to an object, the object being travel. An attitude is defined as a traditional thought to be a lasting general evaluation of people, objects, advertisements, or issues. Once attitudes are developed, they tend to impact behaviour and intentions to behave. So this is present as I attempt to incorporate travel as frequently as I can in my life, dedicating yearly savings to holidays as rewards, as well as incorporating learning such as taking part in international exchange through university to increase my education at the same time as exploring another culture. The attitudes theory is comprised of 2 components, affect, which is the way a consumer feels about an object, and cognition, which is the beliefs that are held around the object. In relation to the affect component, travel makes me happy and at peace during the holiday, especially as I normally plan holidays around stressful times, specifically during uni, and also brings excitement before the holiday begins. Through the research process of figuring out where I want to go, what I want to do in the area, and who I want to actually explore it with. In terms of the cognitive component, this can relate to the knowledge that I gain from traveling. For example, experiencing and learning about how different cultures live and their customs. This can also be linked to my perceptions of traveling, including expectations of flights, which determines who I decide to fly with, based on if I was choosing a more expensive flight, for example Qantas, my cognitive beliefs would be that I would be expecting quality food, quality comfort, good entertainment, and this also is the same with standards of accommodation that I decide to choose. The attitude hierarchy that best illustrates my attitude towards travel would be the standard learning hierarchy. This states that my attitude is based on cognitive information processing and assumes the cognitive component is the most essential and begins the attitude process based on the fact that I prioritize my beliefs and how the experience will benefit my knowledge. I also begin the process of traveling with developing my understanding for a country I hope to travel to, and then I go through to booking flights and accommodation. And once that's organised, this is then followed by the affect component, which comprises of feelings and how it affects me emotionally. These feelings would consist of happiness and excitement and relaxation before the holiday begins, and once everything is organised and planned. This is an important aspect that contributes to my attitude, although it is secondary to my beliefs and knowledge of the experience. Lastly is the actual behaviour itself, which is the travel component. The standard learning hierarchy states that the decisions made about where I travel to, what flight company I choose, what accommodation I decide to book, and who I travel with is approached as a problem-solving process and ensures that I'm highly involved throughout these purchasing decisions. My consumer behaviour can also be linked to the theory of planned behaviour, and more specifically, goal-directed behaviour. This theory is constructed of ideas including attitude towards behaviour, social norms, perceived behaviour, behavioural control, and the belief that you can control a situation and make changes. Taking into account social norms, this highly affects my behaviour and vice versa, as it is a common behaviour seen in many people. Seeing others travelling is inspiring, increases and increases the desire for me to do it as well. Perceived behavioural control is a belief that one can make decisions and control a situation. In terms of this behaviour, I believe that is very evident due to it being such a high involvement behaviour, and it has a lot of area for me to control and adjust if need be. For example, if I decide to choose a different flight company or travel to different areas for day trips. The goal-directed behaviour builds on this theory of planned behaviour and considers the anticipated emotions and the past experience that the consumer has had. This can be related in terms of my past travels and the experiences that I've had in the past that drive me to continue this behaviour and maintain my attitude towards travel. So in summary, my consumer behaviour for this vlog was travelling, as it is an important aspect of my life in self-development and improving my education about the world around me. And this behaviour can be linked to the attitudes theory, more specifically the feelings and beliefs that I have towards the behaviour. The behaviour for me is considered to have a standard learning hierarchy in which the cognitive aspects are the most important, followed by the effects and feelings, which then lead to the behaviour itself. The behaviour can also be linked to the theory of planned behaviour due to the effects of social norms, the attitudes, and my ability to control and change where and how I travel. Thank you for listening.